special occasion every Sunday at 10 o'clock right here on KCAA Radio. That's when Christina Benjamin gets to play that wonderful music from 876 Records. And Miss Benjamin would like for you to move to your left. Really blessed today. We have some young people in here, younger than usual. They're from an organization called Let's Write Out Loud. Did I say it correctly? Yes. Very good. Okay. They are part of an organization put together by Monette Miles. She is a writer, a wonderful lady who has millions of miles of patience and creativity and inspiration that she shares with these young people. She's going to take this group that you see before you, if you're watching us on KCAAradio.com. If not, you should be. And for those, let me take a second. Naima, Papa says, hello, how are you and Six doing? And I know that in Miami, we've got a little crew there watching. We've got AJ, who just got a great accomplishment award from school. I'm aware of that. I want you to know Papa's paying attention to how you do in school. Keep it up. And your big brother, Joshua, and Tito, and Mel, you guys are paying attention to you too. Young ladies, you'll be going to New York for National Poetry Month in April. You'll be working with a man named Kwame Alexander. He's got an organization called Book in a Day, which I think he's encouraging people to learn how to read a book in a day. I don't know, he may be talking to you guys about writing a book a day. Don't get scared. Whatever he's putting in front of you, I'm sure is something that you can do. Let's introduce Lauren Rogers. You see the look on her face. Go on and talk to you. Say, your name is not.
Hi.
Hi, Lauren, how are you?
I'm good.
And Lauren, you're how old?
17.
And you are attending school where?
Dickinson State.
Dickinson State in North Dakota. Okay, we're going to do a fundraiser and help her get all of the fur coats and boots and gloves and stuff that she will need. Somebody read that for me.
Grant White.
Okay, and we have Grant White who's joined us on the phone. Shantice Blair, how are you?
I'm fine.
And you are going to, you're a student at San Bernardino High School now, and you are going to, upon graduation, join the Army.
Yes.
General Shantice Blair. Is that where we're going with this Army thing, possibly?
Yes, that goes very deep.
And Arnetta Brown on the far end. How are you, Miss Arnetta?
I'm fine here.
She's a student at San Gregorio High School. She plans to go into law. She is a philosophy type person. Yes. And all of these young ladies write poetry. And as Mr. Grant, Grant, you're on the phone. Can you hear me? And you are a student. You're a student down at UC San Diego. And what's your major? What are you planning to do? Excellent. A high school teacher. Very good. What are you doing now to take you in that direction? I was saying, what are you doing now that leads in the direction of helping with these teaching kids in high school? Are you doing any mentoring now? Very good. Well, people, the first segment of the show had to do with talking about Medicare. This is something that, as you get older, you've got to plan to do. All of us are not blessed to get older. But if you are blessed to get older, I would like to ask this assemblage, what do you guys plan to be doing in the next 5 years? 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? And Grant, let's start with you. Very good. So you've been thinking about that. Well, that's good. That's good. We were wondering who we were going to ask that question first to. I had warned the young ladies here about 20 minutes ago that we were going to ask that question, and from the look in their eye, they were all happy to see you answer the question first and to answer it impromptu. So I'm really happy that you've got that on your mind, young man. I'll score that a point for the guys. Come on. Oh, you see, the thing is, there seems to be in this generation a truce, a quiet truce of the boys against the girls, and I'm glad to hear that. But it's a quiet truce. We do know that there's a level of performance that we expect, and we want to be leaders. And you know, with the guys who, anyway, I don't even have to talk about it anymore. I think we all understand. Ladies, it's on you now. Lauren, what do you plan to be doing in the next 5 years?
I plan to graduate from Dickinson State University. I also plan to have two books out. Two books out.
You guys aren't here. I have to share this. Lauren was not quite close enough to the microphone, and as I pushed the microphone from one direction, her head was coming in close from the other direction because Mama Monette was behind her, pushing her closer. And this is what you know. Adults who are going to get involved with young people really have to know how to exert themselves. But it's not just that. It's the relationship that you create with the young people so that you can do these things. You could not expect to have someone do what she just did, what Miss Monette just did, unless she had a good relationship. And folks out there that are wondering how to influence and work with other people, you start with the relationship. You have to like what you're doing, and you have to like the people, and you have to really demonstrate that. And Monette has love for her young people, and they obviously have that for her, and I appreciate that. And we're not going to call Child Protective Services. So, Lauren, go on.
I plan to be graduating from Dickinson State University, and I want to major in communications and creative writing. And so this is an experience for me right now.
Perfect. Okay. And Shantice?
I plan to be in graduate school or expanding my businesses.
Expanding your businesses. You have an entrepreneurial attitude, huh?
Yes.
What kind of businesses would you be thinking about doing in the next 5 years while you're in school?
Well, I have two small businesses right now, a clothing line and a photography.
Clothing line and photography.
Yes.
I can see how that photography can work because it's loose, flexible, and you tote that around with you. How would you work your clothing line business while you're in school?
Well, there's other people that work with me, so they will probably run it while I'm in school, and I come in every now and then and pay work.
Excellent. Okay, so you're thinking about it. That's the main thing. That's what I need to hear. Arnetta?
In 5 years, I should be graduated from Berkeley on my first year in law school. And from there, after I graduate from law school, I should be a criminal justice public defender for San Bernardino County.
I should have asked what you're going to be doing in the next 10 years. Really, I'm just really proud to hear those things. Yes. Now, I'm sorry, Chad. Is that your name? Cody. I know it started with a C. Okay, Cody, come a little bit closer. Cody, I just asked these young ladies a question, and take that microphone, drop down to and speak into that microphone, and tell me, what do you plan to be doing in the next 5 years? Or in 5 years, what do you plan to be, and what do you hope to be doing?
In the next 5 years, I plan to be doing something involving sports. If not playing sports, then helping out with any kind of thing I could be doing in sports, like sports fantasy or something like that. I don't know, just something that keeps me active in sports. I like sports.
You like sports. Okay, very good. You're not a Laker hater then, obviously. If you know about sports, you certainly know that the Lakers are one of the teams that demonstrates your intellect as you choose and people who you are in favor of, right?
I'm a Suns fan.
Cut the mic.
The sun is very important because it keeps us warm and makes the planet operate the way it's supposed to operate. Anything named in reference to the sun is trying to emulate that level of respect. But not just laying there. Cody, you're a good kid. You'll learn. You're a hater at this time. But you're going to be fine. Maybe I'm the one that should be learning something. We'll get together in June, okay? And you're going to come around the show and hang around so that I don't lose you in June like most of those Celtic fans can get, you know. No, Celtic fans, Sun fans. Good man, good man. We have another young person here. He's videoing right now, and so we're going to let him off the hook. Rashid Lewis. But you guys came into the studio this morning with some ideas, some things you wanted to talk about. If I were to turn the program over to you now, what would you guys want to do? Who would take charge? Would it be Miss Annette?
Definitely.
All right.
No doubt.
Okay. You are in charge now, Miss Annette. Tell me what's on the minds of these young people representing Let's Write Out Loud.
Being teenagers in San Bernardino and in the Inland Empire and in the community, we actually came up with a couple topics that we see have been affecting our generation, such as money, sex, and power. And all of these things are also tied into drugs, which is very common in our generation. So we felt that we should just take it upon ourselves to bring up the topic and air it out, because it's no longer a discrete subject.
Throw the air under it. Let's do it. Where do we want to start?
We start with sex and how it's changed the community.
Tell me about it.
Well, in my opinion, sex has changed the community by teen pregnancies, and people pressure themselves to have sex and keep a relationship by having kids, and it's corrupt the school system because a lot of people are dropping out and they no longer believe that that's the way to succeed.
As well as a lot of people we're now stuck under the poverty line by becoming teenage parents, because now we're not getting those professional degrees and we're not getting those professional jobs.
Well, I have a question, and I brought this up once before when Manette was on the show, and that was sexual bullying. They talk about bullying because kids are gay, or bullying because kids have a different ethnicity. I have a great concern from my memory all the way from junior high school about sexual bullying. Tell me something about that.
Grant, do you want to speak on that?
Has anybody you know ever been bullied? Oh, he's talking about it.
Grant, hold on just a second for me. Grant, can you hold on just a second? I'm going to ask Christina to do something for me. Can we hear this outside of the microphones? Is there a way you can give us a studio sound so that Miss Lita and Monette can hear and make their contribution? Oh, there we are. Grant, start all over, son.
I was saying that I think the biggest problem when it comes to like sex in the youth and like being in public education is that a lot of students don't have a sense of value when it comes to like public education. Even the going to school to get education, but that being in the inner city and places such as San Bernardino, that's not what's going on. And a lot of students are looking for this purpose and not finding it in education. But what they're finding it is things such as sex and money. And when it comes to bullying, that's how young people find their power in their like social space. If that makes sense. If you have the power to bully someone and make them feel lesser when it comes to like sexuality or ethnicity or gender, especially when it comes to like sexual harassment and things of that nature, especially when it's like for young women, it creates this power dynamic which makes some young people feel like they have to subordinate others so that they can empower themselves in this bizarre way.
Yeah, now that's a natural or a tendency throughout society. This is why we have rules and people who are there to enforce the rules. What rules are we not enforcing that is allowing this bullying to take place, this sexual predator thing that takes place, or if that's what we're talking about? How do we respond to that? How would we like to see what kind of